It's a Friday in this hellscape we call Earth 2.
Earth 2?
I don't know what that means.
Earth 2?
Anytime with Ken and Alden, I'm Ken, that's all.
What's going on, y'all?
You explain the multiverse to me.
You're catching me at a bit of a moment where I'm currently lighting somebody up via text for not paying me on time. So that's the reality of, we come on here, we're gonna dance monkey dance and do a show for you. But just know I'm in a bit of a mood. The multiverse, you say Earth 2, that would be a DC thing. So I know you're getting hyped for Superman as well.
Yeah.
Both Marvel and DC and Star Trek have multiverses. But Earth 2 in DC is a kind of a classic location.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do I have to know it going into Superman, which I'm going to see next week?
No, you don't need to know anything.
Okay.
You're seeing Superman next week? You're going to a press screening?
Daddy's back in the business, baby.
Oh man, I'm jealous. I'm seeing it early on release, but not that early.
Back in the rarefied air of the dumb critics.
Are they going to invite you to a round table so you can ask James Gunn a bunch of questions?
Yeah, I would turn that down.
But you would send me is what you would do.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's correct.
Don't get rid of the
invitation.
James Gunn was the first person I ever interviewed because I won a contest when I was 18.
Yeah.
It was a collaboration between Marvel and Skype. They did a national sweepstakes to choose nerd.
I've never met Gunn. My old roommate used to go to his house for parties because there were certain kind of entertainers from a certain business that were always there, and he was dating one.
Was
Got
it
to meet Michael Rooker too?
Back during the Jenna Fisher days?
Right after, maybe, I don't know.
Right after.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
The early days of the 2010s. Anyways, we are here. We got Jared the Dark Jedi here, Will McLean, Molly Damon. I think I've heard of Molly Damon before. She does some things, right, in business.
Molly's been around. Molly's one of those veterans. She's one of them professional YouTubers.
Oh yeah.
Molly is why people in our families are like, why don't you just make money on YouTube?
Oh, you're blaming Molly?
Yeah, I'm blaming the pundit class, the 1%ers.
Yeah, I blame Alex Damon for a lot of things too.
No, my favorite thing was my mother hit me up and was like, because she really likes horror or like spooky things, and she was like, "Is there any what's coming out this year?" And I was like, "Well, this isn't horror." I was like, "But they're making the new Knives Out. You really like those two, the murder mysteries?" She's like, "Oh yeah," and she knows who Rian Johnson is, and so she's like, watching the teaser trailer, she goes, "You've talked to him. Why didn't you just tell him like how passionate you are and like ask him for a job?" And I was just like, I hate. I was like, I hate your entire generation. I was like, I hate every single one of you indiscriminately.
But that is a tried and true. You go when I moved to LA in '98, my mom was like, after about like '99, I'm working security and everything. She goes, like Steven Spielberg's not hiring writers. Like you can is there like place you can apply? I was like, yes, down at the Hollywood office. You go down to the Hollywood office.
If you want it bad enough, why don't you just explain? Man.
All right,
man. I'm over here looking at my dog. I'm giving him treats to keep him quiet while we start the show. I just wish that I was him, to be honest.
The rest of the Alden, but I need to. I'm back in the gym regularly. Just had my workout this morning. Had a great 2 days with my folks. Really good 2 days. Some interesting conversations. I won't call productive, but interesting conversations about the news and social issues. But the last thing my mom said to me was, I made a joke about like, I can have 4 ibuprofen because I'm like bigger now. I'm big right now. And she goes, "Yes, you are very overweight right now, in the way that only moms can."
Yeah.
And so I drove home for 3 hours going, "I shall never eat again. I will. Yeah. I will drink soup. I'm gonna have broth for dinner."
Oh yeah, no, that's coming from Latin people. That's par for the course. You just go to a thing and it's like you're not eating enough, or you're fat, or
right.
Or we don't like the person that you're with, or if you're single, it's why are you alone? Like it's just it's just all these binaries, all these painful binaries,
Yeah.
judgmental ass people. That's why I talk to less family members every year. I've whittled that. Now at this point, if I had to do a wedding seating chart today, I think my family would be one table, and like friends / internet people would be the rest of the tables.
All right, you're doing the full wedding. You're doing a wedding.
I mean,
depending on your partner, depending on what your partner would.
Hypothetically speaking, I would like a wedding.
Okay,
I like a shindig.
You can't go wrong. You know, I Jill and Sully's wedding in October last year. I reminisced this weekend about it because I drove past the hotel that we're all staying at, the Residence Inn. Oh my God, the greatest suites in the world, and I had positive memories. So yeah, okay, I like that for you. I like that for you.
What percentage of the greater knapsacks and company do you communicate with regularly? I'm curious.
Well, my dad's side is very small, so my grandparents are now gone. I have an aunt who I don't really talk to too much. I try to avoid that. Not nice. We can get along, but you know, how many times can I hear some of the political things she says before I just burn the house down? So that, but yeah, no, I have small amount because I have a small family on that side. My mom's side was always a little bit bigger, but it's been so dispersed that I haven't seen some of them for years. So I value the family members I value. How about that?
That's a nice.
I don't feel. I'm not one of those. Yeah, I'm not one of those. You have to do like I'm not a family is stronger than blood kind of guy.
Ugh. Yeah, no.
You know, like I'm not like, so I even with folks that in my family that I enjoy, like we just don't see each other a lot. So it sounds negative. It sounds like I'm being dour about it, but it's just not part of my daily life, family.
No, I'm largely the same. I think that the whole like blood is thicker than water, or your family first, everybody, like it's complete propaganda. It's complete propaganda. Like the people in my family that preach family first are the ones that have hurt and annoyed me the most, or judged me the most, or have voted against other people's rights, or like it's the ultimate hypocrites that love to preach family first. However, as I think many people will agree, the family weirdos, the black sheep, the ones in the corner, the ones that show up maybe once a year, get a plate, shake hands, and leave. As a child, we are confused by them.
Yes.
As adults, we're like, oh, they're the best family members.
Yeah.
They have stories. They have a reason to be the way that they are. They're worldly,
I like that. Yeah. But I admit to being super complicated too, because I despise the word Friendsgiving. I do not go to are you in town alone? Come on over for Christmas dinner. No, leave me alone. Like I just want to be left alone during the holidays, I guess. So I am complicated all the.
Why do you despise the concept of Friendsgiving? Is it just like
it's wordplay? It's fucking wordplay.
Womanification, the live, laugh, lovification.
You fucking wordplay, man. Let's get Friendsgiving. Just invite me over for Thanksgiving. It doesn't have to be fucking. And I'm playing Jenga with you. Like, no, we're not doing this.
Some of us just call that hanging out.
Yeah.
Which was a thing we had for a while in our society.
Yeah. Like, do I like hanging out with my friends? Yeah, I got 2 coming over tonight. We're gonna play Battlefront 1 from 2015. It's gonna be a great time. We're gonna order some food. We're gonna reminisce because my friend and I used to play that together years ago, 2015, 2016. Okay. So I like Friends. But if you put a label on it, instead of Friday, it's Friends Day. Like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I feel.
Anyways,
well, there's a big thing. I think we all have to constantly label and make things into a thing. I saw a thing earlier today, actually this morning, it was a tweet that said normalize not loving all of your relatives. So it's very relevant to what we're talking about. And then someone quote tweeted it and said, why do we need all this language? Just say you don't like your stupid fucking uncle. And it's like we don't we don't need to. Can we normalize not you mean, can we dislike people? Yes, the answer is yes. Yes, we can.
Yeah, it's case by case, and then you realize the older you get. Like I had an uncle who since passed, and I never really got to know him. I was around him a lot, I knew him. He was in the family, but my mom kind of kept me distant from him. And come to find out, he was calling my mom, being like, "You're strangling that kid. Send him down to me. I'm gonna get him drunk and laid. We're gonna go to the lake. We're gonna have some fun. He needs to live. You are strangling him." You were, he didn't know, but she was an Edie Carn, and years later, like, oh, that's why you kept me away from Vinny. Oh, okay, because you were worried. You were worried.
Yeah. So is this her, or was her older brother?
Younger. Yeah,
her younger brother,
who's since passed. Yeah. Tragically. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But yeah, it's the end of our week, and I know you've had a lot going on this week. You need a hug. You need an anytime hug today.
What is? Oh, see, but now we're branding hugs. See, so now we're just as guilty. That's anytime hugs is just
stop it. What do you producer
just as
Steve?
Illegal as Friendsgiving.
What do you producer Steve here trying to play games with
just
me?
upset that you won't play Jenga with him, so that's off the list.
I don't like forced games. We're all gonna play a game. You're all gonna play a game. I'm going.
Yeah. I will say I agree with you on that. Like when you're in a circle of friends, bunch of chips and salsa, whatever, hors d'oeuvres, you're all hanging out, you're drinking a few beers. The first person that says, "Do you guys want to play a game?" I hate it.
Cut them out. Cut them out.
Uninvite them. We're talking.
This is why I'm here. It's the talking. Yes.
I'm here for the talking and for the stories of saying, remember when we were 15 and such did this? That's why I'm here.
Did they switch the comments on? Look, the comments are different.
They're square. Yeah, they're like little squared up.
Yeah, little square. Was there some setting I did? Luna says heads up 7-Up. Yeah. I'll play heads up 7-Up though in classrooms. That was
heads up 7-Up. Yeah.
Jared loves tabletop gaming. Yeah, look, I've done that, man. I've done that. All right. I played Mansions of Madness. It can be fun if I know that's what's happening.
Right.
We're all going to come over tonight to play Mansions of Madness. Want to come over? Yeah, absolutely. But hey, we're at a party. Guess what, guys? No. I just leave. Yeah. I'm an ass. I've been revealing slowly, Alden, that a lot of people have known me through Force Center, and I've been the nice, warm, cozy Ken in the corner. I'm unveiling that I'm really kind of an asshole, and it's been fun. It's been liberating.
See, look, there's something happening in the comments right now. Speaking of assholes, I'm about to be one. So where is this comment here? So this stupid motherfucker just came into our comments to try to pick a fight about Star Wars, right? So then we ignored him. And so now he wants to talk about your mom and this, that, the other thing. And I just want you to know, Jarek, if that is your real name, that you think about us. We don't think about you. So get bent, fuck off, you're banned.
Kick rocks, as they say.
Goodbye, touch grass, whatever.
Enjoy your life.
There you go. Like, I just it's these people that it's just like, it doesn't bother me as a big concept, but it's so clear that, to tie into what you're saying, that we've been too nice. Like, I genuinely feel like we've been too nice. Like, we have allowed the anonymity to run wild for so long. I'm not talking about the right-wing grift. I'm not talking about all that. Those are bigger things. I just mean these randoms that are like, I want to pick a fight about. No, you don't. You would lose. And Knapsack and Alden Diaz would fucking mollywop you on all matters of Star Wars any day. You don't want that fight. You don't want that argument. And if I ignore you, then it's for your well-being.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah. I ran into that in public recently at that bar party.
Oh, you told me. You told me, and look, we're not going to get into it here, but because it would be too long. But you described to me the situation, and I said, dude, I pray that I can be there for the next one. I pray. Sorry, I'm in a foul mood. I'm in an absolutely foul mood, and I'm doing the show anyway.
Where did you get the term mollywop from? Because I love old timey phrases, and I don't know where that one comes from.
I don't know the origin, but mollywop we used to say it in middle school and stuff. Which for me is, the mid to late 2000s. Sorry. And Mollywop had a resurgence because of Ninja Turtles. The Seth Rogen produced Ninja Turtles that they did. Oh. One of the characters says Mollywop in the movie.
All right.
Yeah. That's a whole. All right. But anyway, so we're both in a bit of a mood. You were saying that I'm in a mood. You were saying that I sensed that I was in a mood.
I knew you were having a bad week by the lack of interaction I had with you. And not that you and I communicate every day. Or on a larger... I would say sense it.
60 to 75% of the week we're in communication.
Yeah. And so I could sense darkness. I could sense it. And you don't need to go in and do anything. I just I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And the one conversation I'm looking at our conversation now because I thought we had a long talk, and I was like, didn't we have a long talk? And then I looked at it, and it was about finances and how we all got screwed by the boomers, and so it wasn't exactly a happy talk.
Right.
So yeah, no, I feel you on that. Yeah, I mean, it's been a rough one, and I just I constantly feel the pressure to be on. Like this week, I helped like 3 different people with their life problems.
Sure.
And in one of them, it finally got honest enough that they were like, hey, you give such great advice. And I was like, yeah, that's because I like you more than I like me. I was that's what I'm great at. Let's talk about your stuff. I'm awesome at that because it distracts me from my stuff. You know, like I was like, it is selfish of me sometimes to put effort into you.
To for yourself. Like to as in you don't want to fix, you want to fix your problems. You just don't want to deal with them. I understand what you're coming from.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the whole thing. But anyway,
we try to be honest in our broadcasting as we were a couple weeks ago. We both were really depressed. I'm not depressed this week. I'm just a little overwhelmed, both with the outside of the world, things in my own life, things that aren't happening in my own life. So no different. And we're here for you. We're here for you. Here's a big hug. We won't even label the hug. We'll just give you the hug.
I love hugs.
Yeah.
I hug you every time I see you. I'm big on hugs. Hugs are great. I'm not going to give one to you unprompted. Like, you should get consent to touch someone. But I don't believe in like the you need a certain level of emotionality for a hug. Like, we could just be like standing on the street corner and like it's time for a hug.
I hug freely with my guy friends, and you're right. I think over the course of the years, I have not freely given hugs to anyone who I sense doesn't appreciate them, because it takes a while. You could be so nice. My mother's a great example of this week. This week I saw a lot of. She's so nice that if you're out in the public, she will want to say hi to you. And if you were walking Mando, she would want to talk to you about Mando. But there's an assumption that it's equal. And so you might be depressed, putting headphones in, walking Mando, and you don't want to talk to a soul. And she would stop you to have some banter over the dog. And I was trying to explain that removes some agency from the situation, even though your intentions are 100% pure. Sure. It becomes more about you than them, or a collective shared moment of joy. So I sensed that too. Where I used to be like, "Come here," now I'm like, I sound like Robert Baratheon. Let me sense it first. That makes sense.
You've got fat to tie in. That's a callback. It's a callback to both the character and the earlier conversation. Dylan Barry is here with some important research. Dylan Barry Network. The name Molly Whoopie and the fairy tale associated with it originate from Scottish folklore. The story, first published in 1884, features a young girl named Molly who outsmarts a giant. Well, I love everything about that. That's a great word origin.
Great. God bless the Scots. There you go. And Molly Damon can use that even though she spells her name differently. I've grown to like the IE version over the Y.
For Molly, I default to the IE in my mind. I don't know why that is. Maybe Molly does have something to do with it subconsciously. I think if you said, what's the first thing you think of when you hear Molly? I do think of Molly. She is the only Molly I'm friends with.
Now for me, I've had a few Mollys in my life. Yeah. Some good Mollys over the years. And there's a great bar, Molly Malone's in LA. So, I've been around Mollys, but that's the prime Molly right there.
Is flogging Molly spelled with the IE? I can't remember.
No, that's a good question. These are good questions. We're supposed to have some deep conversations, and this is the deepest of the deep. No, why?
Charlie says his first kiss was with a Molly. Why? Okay. Interesting. Kingsport Cal's grandma was Molly.
See?
Kingsport Molly.
It's a popular dog name too, says Molly.
Kelly Quinn points out Molly IE refers to the person. Molly with a Y refers to the drug. Well, that's also Molly's also a popular drug. Cannot confirm or deny that I've ever consumed it, but I will say, do not wear fuzzy pajama pants if you do. That's advice that I've gathered in my travels.
How to take that, but I won't do either of them. How about that? fuzzy,
you want to do fuzzy
pajama
pants or drugs?
Or some illicit drugs in the desert.
Charlie, no comment on the first kiss. What the hell, man? Don't bring it up if you're not going to tell a story. Regale us with tales.
I don't know more. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. That's the end of the show. Bye. No, anytime. Here on a Friday.
Bite size anytimes.
Let's talk a little bit about pricks colliding, Alden. Pricks colliding. Yeah. So there's so much to talk about, but it's one of those weeks where there's so much to talk about, I can only narrow focus on one.
Sure.
Iran and all the stuff in the 2 weeks to decide, which isn't necessarily good or bad to me. It's just like, all right, so as long as we're not attacking people today, or though we're providing weapons to do it, as we've been wont to do in that region. I think one of the most fascinating things in recent political times is Tucker Carlson taking down Ted Cruz. Whether or not that's the end result, whether it changes any minds, probably not. And this isn't for me. I'll say up top. I only want to caveat this once. This is not a Tucker Carlson redemption story for me. This isn't a Darth Vader at the end of his life turn. No Force ghost of Tucker Carlson is going to exist.
Not a babyface thing. We don't believe it. We're talking about it as a spectacle.
Yeah,
as a thing.
It's yes, and the specific thing, there's all the way through it. There's him being Tucker, and he's good at this. This is how he rose to power. He's good at being a swarmy little know-it-all prick. The interesting thing for me, where I'll start my bidding on this conversation, is when it specifically comes to the conversation around supporting Israel because the Bible says so. Tucker Carlson was so right in the way in which he took it down. It threw me for a loop. It was as if I was watching the Bible scholars turn atheist videos that I go down rabbit holes on, because everything about it, from Genesis 12:3 to everything he was saying, was right, and it blew my mind. Not that wow, he's right, but just like, what's the end result of that? Because people need to hear what he's saying on that side. The Ted Cruz's of the world need to hear what he's saying. I don't think they're going to listen, but they're not listening to me, and my jaw dropped over that stuff. That's where I start the conversation.
I'm with you, man. I have not sat down and given it a click and watched it in full, because I
watched the clips. Yes, I'm with you. On other channels.
I've given it the clips, the Instagram reels, all that. It is fascinating. The Israel stuff, the population and demos stuff, just the general fighting over Tucker saying, "You're calling me an anti-Semite. You are a spineless feline, or like a feckless feline." It's not like he called
one of my favorite words.
He basically called Ted Cruz a pussy, but like in a needlessly articulate way. And it was just like so fascinating. Like the first level that I hit it on for me was just, there hasn't been in a long time a true loud exposure of the fact that the act is an act in a while. And I think that, and now mind you, a lot of us that are laughing at it on that level knew it already, right?
Yes.
To your point, it's like, will there be like MAGA people that are going to be like, it's an act, I learned, like probably not, but it's like Tucker is a 30-year broadcast veteran,
at least. 90s.
So it's like to see him turn it on, or from a certain point of view, turn it off for the first time in probably 20-ish years, and just use the same tactics and same approach and same indignant, condescending, like everything about the deliveries was consistent of the Tucker Carlson that is a caricature. All he did was change the approach and move it into attacking Cruz. And it's like, there was this moment of like larger clarity where I realized that Tucker, not to give him real credit as a human, but I guess as a tactician, maybe Tucker is smart enough in this moment to realize what a lot of MAGA doesn't realize, which is that there has to be a world on the other side of Donald Trump. Is that, MAGA has unlocked a lot of things and gotten away with a lot, but they have not unlocked immortality. And so it's like he's died before. He just turned 79. His embarrassing ass parade that was really nothing. He's drowsy. He's falling asleep. Like, it's coming apart at the seams. He's throwing Tulsi under the bus. He's doing like physically, mentally, in terms of the apparatus, in terms of the cabinet, like all these things are falling apart. All these people are being thrown under, all these court challenges. And I think that Tucker's realizing we need to get ready for the next grift. And for him, that's,
yeah.
being, Russian media and everything. Like, we can analyze what Tucker is and who's paying Tucker.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just the fact that he's like, oh, we need some blood sacrifices before we get into the next era. And Ted will be the first one. Like, there's like, it really does feel that way, that Tucker's like, because he remember, like, Tucker was there. Like, Tucker was there during Clinton. And then Tucker became a freak during Bush. And then Tucker was a freak during McCain. And then Tucker was a freak during Trump 1 and 2. And it's like Tucker knows that whatever happens, whether it's Don Jr., whether it's Stephen Miller himself, whatever, Tucker's like, I need to be a relevant voice still when it all goes down. Tucker is building an arc.
He's building a story. Yeah. No,
well, I meant an arc as a boat, but yes, also a story.
Oh, an arc. Oh, okay.
He's building an arc. Okay. He's getting on.
I thought I was thinking wrestling here for a while. Yeah, no, that's what was fascinating about it, and I think he absolutely laid him out. And like I said, I don't think, much like some of the conversations I had this week, that I wish I could call them productive. I don't think they were, but it was different than any conversations I've had before, where points were heard and understood. Again, watching him just leave, and we've all known Cancun Ted is this. We all know that they're just big hot air bags with very little actual legislation success behind them, other than these big giant sweeping evil policies. But to hear him have Ted just be like, with his little, he's got the dumbest beard in the world. Just glue some tape on the top of that chin. But just sitting there like, I don't know. You tell me. I don't. Just to watch him just flailing in the shallow end of the pool was fascinating, and I want to see if there will be measurable effect. I'm not hopeful that there is, and I think everything you're saying is right. Now we're on to the next game.
It's the splintering, like. Yeah, it's it's the infighting of like the Israeli lobby versus the Russian lobby. It's the playing these games of what MAGA is going to be in the next phase, and playing these games of like they're realizing, like the right wing sphere realized that one of their big points was that this was going to be the president of peace, and that they're all on the record, as Jon Stewart pointed out in his great piece this week.
That was one of his best,
definitely one of his best openings, and. Had all these clips of the whole right-wing sphere, all the major influencers that they have talking about how they're opposed to this. Now it's happening. So they all have to figure out how they can mental gymnastics their way into saying it's good now, because that's all they do. And Tucker sort of took a step out of that and realized that was happening and was like, I'm going to out-grift all of you by playing the I'm a better Christian, by playing the I know more about geopolitics, by playing the I know more about demographics and race, by Tucker Carlson in a weird way, again, intentionally or otherwise, made the argument that a lot of young leftists have made recently, which is that Judaism and Zionism are not the same. And he had to make that argument, whether he believes it or not, to refute Ted, because Ted Cruz went to the Israeli government equals, quote, the Jews. And Ted and Tucker wouldn't let him have it.
Yeah.
And which is an important thing. That's an AIPAC. That's the AIPAC thing, is make sure that everything that the government does is tantamount to Judaism.
Right.
And it's like
it's huge.
And to have Tucker Carlson out there, like it genuinely was the, worst guy, made a great point meme times a billion. It like the you hate to hand it to him, but he did it.
Because I saw the headlines emerge, and I didn't, like you, I wasn't going to click on the Tucker Carlson show. I was going to get but then like you go click on, I love Sam Cedar, but it's going to be a 32-minute clip where you're just like, I just want to watch the highlights. So I ended up finding them. But after avoiding it for like 2 days, where I was just like, I don't want to hear both of them, I was blown away about how, like I said up top, how correct Tucker was on the specific issue of the Bible says support Israel, this unilateral support, not accounting for what was actually being said in Genesis.
Like, where is it? And then Ted tries to act like he doesn't know, and he goes, it's in Genesis, but go on.
Exactly. Look, I chose for the thumbnail, this is the picture I chose because I intentionally chose Tucker looking at the camera as if he's like, I got this guy, this is too easy. This is too easy. And Ted with his dumb beard.
Dead to rights. Dead to rights.
Yeah, it's so it was, and so anyways, all that to say, that's why I was maybe even more blown away. It's like when you have no expectations or low expectations, and then the cake someone made for you that they raved about for years, you're like, oh, it actually is good, or shit. I couldn't believe what I was hearing from him about, the nation, the people get dispersed all around the world in 6, 7, 8 BCE. Like, what are you talking about? But Netanyahu, does the Bible said support Netanyahu? And Ted just been like, blah, 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 blah. It was based coming off the week I had, Alden. I wish I was staying one more day because I would have talked about it at my house.
Very well timed. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
And then you look at it like, for us, you and I are both broadcasters, and we both have, that's where our careers started. And I love interviewing, and I think I'm really good at it. And part of the frustration with our generation, both of ours, but particularly us young, angry 20-somethings, almost 30-somethings in some of our cases, is that we are sick and tired of the glad handing that happens with the mainstream media. And so like the liberal media and people like Jake Tapper's been a big talking point for the last month, just because of how moronic he's being and what he's choosing to focus on. Completely toothless, no grit, no ability to like roll up their sleeves and fight. And it's like, in this weird, bizarro world that we're in, Tucker Carlson demonstrated in this, genuine or not. I'm not talking about whether or not he believes any of it. I'm talking about tactics and producing. I'm talking about writing. I'm talking about responding. I'm talking about following up. He demonstrated the model of the type of attack interview that we should be delivering on them. And it's and he's an asshole moron too. So it's like, don't tell me that it can't be done by somebody with some intelligence and grace and class. You absolutely could do it. Tucker didn't curse him out. He asked him basic things and guffawed when he couldn't answer the basic things, and then had the answers ready to go.
I really love what you're saying, especially when you and I have discussed the future elections and candidates, and whether we have different views on stuff. Like, at the end of the day, I really think you're right. This is the template, because it was like he's asking questions, knowing the answer and knowing Ted doesn't have the answer. And just like everyone say, it's Genesis, or what does that mean? Like, it was swarmy shit. A+ swarmy shit that sort of, and also I love Jared, the Dark Jedi points that it's Genesis is so fucking good. I think that's the closest he's come to feeling how Jon Stewart felt when he bodied Tucker beginning his villain arc, which I think a lot of people here are aware of, but I was and a lot of you were alive, but I was like alive and up and running during that time, and that was stunning then, because at the time you just took all the Tuckers of the world and the Hannitys of the world at face value as just being newsmen. We weren't catching up yet to the show that was now being, that had been since Limbaugh's days, of course. But you know what I mean? Whereas the first time we're like, John did to Tucker, and now Tucker doing it to Ted. I don't know. I don't know if it ends here, if it continues to happen. I didn't trust the Elon Trump fight was equally as amusing, but there was no truths being said there. There was some truths being said there, and that's the thing that just confuses me in the most amazing way.
I agree, and on the larger level too of just where we're at, the feeling of that we're in Bizarro World, which is also a DC Comics location, but that we're in Bizarro World, like, it hit me big this week because there's a few different like paradigm shifts happening, and Tucker going rogue was the one that took all the headlines, but also this slow turn toward the Democrat governors having to be the states' rights people has been fascinating and weird. And it's like, there's not going to be a platform switch, especially not in the 2020s. Like, I'm not saying that, but there has been a tone and focus switch by necessity where, Big Gretch, as they call her, and Pritzker and Newsom and like all these people having to now realize that, we have to be the ones that are against the federal overreach by necessity. So now we are going to be states' rights, but positive ? Like, it's strange times, very strange.
I've been in those conversations where, especially about California and say like abortion rights and stuff like that, where suddenly you find yourself, you're like, I am kind of advocating for states' rights, which, and again, I'm not. it's always a general conversation, right? To me, when you bring up states' rights, I'm like, I'm just going to assume that you mean slavery is okay. Like, I'm just going to assume that that's what you're okay with because the lost cause mythology and everything. But when it comes down to what you're talking about here now, it's like you have to check your six. We're on shaky ground, and I've had those moments where I've pulled out of the conversation, kind of like I might accidentally convince them of something that I don't want them to convince them of, if that makes sense.
No, for sure. Yeah. People, the American populace is bad at compartmentalization. They are really bad at looking at things within the context of like the issue that we're talking about. The Americans think that good arguing is saying, oh, so if that, then this, right? And it's like, no, we're just talking about this. We're not,
exactly.
Not everything's a catch-all, not everything. Yeah, I do think that there should be universal health care. That does not mean that I think that the government should control everything else. But everything in America is we default to slippery slope for everything.
I agree with that. Anyways, it's kind of all I have. In terms of the week, that was the highlight for me. I mean, it was the highlight. I watched it all again this morning. And I hope it's part of the game plan. I think some people have said in here chat that it's hard to. They're going to start getting. They're all cowards, so they'll be afraid to go for interviews. I think David McKay said that. And I think there's some truth to that. But then let's find them. Stick a microphone in their face as they're leaving buildings at restaurants. We can take it out of the studio now, and maybe that'll happen. If we can clear out some of the old chuff. Chuck Schumer, I'm just going to send you a nice email with some strident questions.
Note that maybe this has changed today. I didn't check today, but this week, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, no one had a single thing to say about Iran and what could happen over there. They have not said diddly squat. They are so just like held by the balls by Netanyahu that they now can't even, because for years it was a very easy Democrat point to just say, no, peace in the Mideast. Like now that AIPAC money has flown so fast that they all have to be like, let us do the bombing. Like they don't even know what the path is. We'll do it. It's sort of like we talked about last week with like there was that post that went viral that was like President Obama didn't need stormtroopers to get his deportations done, and it's like that's not a brag that you want. Like that's not a brag. It's still bad.
I mean, immigration's always going to be an issue. I get it. But no. That's hilarious. I hadn't seen that one. Yeah, no. You mentioned the Jon Stewart thing. I think this is this past week. Jon Stewart's. I think it was like a 27-minute one. Like, it was a longer version. I think it was some of his best work. If anyone hadn't seen it, and I know every week there seems sometimes to be a debate around him, and I get exhausted of that stuff. But I think it was important because it's like even if you're just like even Ken Bloom says Americans don't do context, we're surface feeders. That's true, and I think we all at some point can you only have so much brain capacity. If you were to ask me on the street, if Jay Leno was to do jaywalking with me and ask about do you think Iran should have nuclear weapons, I think I'm going to answer no. Right, I'm just gonna be like, well, yeah, no, I don't think anyone should. That seems like a no from me, dog. But to have Stewart break it down and show the supercut of Netanyahu from at least 2012, saying they're weeks away, 18, 18, I think that stuff's important.
The Acme bomb illustration, with a fuse,
That stuff is that kind of it's surface level information, but that kind of additional information in that kind of entertaining, fast, digestible fashion is how some of the larger points can get out, and that's why I thought it was so valuable this week, as well as just the passion and anger behind it.
Of course, and the other big story that happened after our last, a lot happened since our last show. No Kings happened since our last show. The failed military parade happened. You attended one of the No Kings.
Yes.
By the time, this is not an exaggeration or a joke. By the time I woke up and went to the official No Kings organization page and checked all the locations and checked what the nearest one near me was, I woke up at 10:30 that morning. It was already over. That's the county that I live in, baby. That's the horse loving Trump bootlicking people that live around here. I think it was like 2 people standing at a shopping plaza, and then it was over. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go get killed by the Klan, but I will make a donation. But it was
that's fair. That's fair.
That happened, and then of course the I think it was a quadruple assassination attempt.
Yeah,
2 succeeded. And then 2 hospitalized. I mean, pairs. These are
pairs,
spouses. And by a person impersonating a law enforcement officer. So keep wearing those masks. Great planning. Great stuff happening that we can't identify anybody. The Dodgers don't know who came to their stadium because they said it was ICE and they didn't let them in. Then ICE said no. It was ask Border Patrol, and then Border Patrol was like. We now no one can identify who's the law, so that's awesome. That's great. That happened. But in that, Stuart talked about their deaths in the context of how much death in this country we don't care about, and listed off the major shooting events of the last 25 years, and a segment that intentionally and smartly goes on too long. Like you start to feel the length of that list, and you're like, Jesus, like it really is depraved. And it's like, I mean, I don't have anything original or new to say about it, but it's true. It's like these people died, and immediately the Republicans were like, how can we use their deaths to turn this into a false narrative? Then, despite the facts that we have about what he believed and who he was with.
Who he was,
but I mean, when it's children or queer people or Jewish people. When Jewish people are actually attacked here in America, you hear nothing. You hear absolutely nothing. But the American Jew, of course, is not what Netanyahu's concerned with, and so that's not what the Republicans can be concerned with, or the Democrats when it comes to that issue. But it's fascinating. Everybody should go watch it if you want to be depressed. If you, it's not a good watch.
But sometimes when you or share with the anger, it's a shared experience that it doesn't make you feel better, but it makes you feel less insane. Maybe.
So I don't know if you had anything else to say about Tucker and Ted, other than it's not gonna solve anything. Yes, it's obviously the interests. I do think that there's a legitimate annoyance to be had. I was talking about this a little bit with Jared from the Nerd Academy podcast about how they're going to do the same garbage they did during the Elon Trump fight, where these I want to be a Dem strategist. I want to make millions of dollars for doing fucking nothing. Like that seems like a great job. Millions of dollars to just throw out the worst suggestions and then get to do it once every 4 years. Sounds awesome. Right. And they immediately wanted to redeem Elon within 24 hours of that. And then there will be you will have somebody like Jake Tapper or Maddow or somebody, and maybe not Maddow, but there will be someone in that apparatus that's like, maybe we can give him a slot here. Maybe we can earn some people
cable news, because he's on his own now, right? He's a free agent.
It's nuts. It's absolutely
wrong lesson.
That will happen.
I could see.
But any final thoughts on that before I move on to frankly what is a more important story, the most important story?
No, I stand by the overall thing, and it's not even that. Just from my perspective, I think I want to know what that will actually do beyond the grift and the double grift and the swerve. It's like wrestling. I get that.
Sure.
Because he was saying facts, Tucker. Because he was spitting some facts. I'm going to try to have some follow-ups on in my life, in my circles, to see if that landed at all. I don't know, but I had some. I won't go into it, but I had some really great conversations this week with my parents. Really great. Does it move the needle? No, but it was a different approach that I took that was way more valuable than anything I've done in the past. And so I just want to see what some of the results are. We'll test it, but that's it for me now.
We'll see how it goes. Let's do a next week check-in. We'll have your parents call in.
They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know. I'm going to text you a link to StreamYard. Open it up on your computer. I don't get text on my computer. Okay. Oh. Okay. Turn on your camera. We don't have cameras.
Open your email. Sit down at the desk. Let's start there.
Yes.
All right. So there's something amazing that happened this week, though. Despite all the bad, all the depression, all the right-wing grifting, everything. Like, there's something beautiful that happened that I texted you about. And I said, I know people just got assassinated, but this is the story that I need to focus on. Now, we have not used the StreamYard Present feature on this show, but we have a purple background, right? It'll work. So I'm going to
do it. I'll make sure. Yes, the background is up. Yep.
I'm going to share my own screen here.
Okay. I don't even know what this is, folks. I have no idea what he's doing.
Look at this.
Oh,
this right here.
Shit. Yes. I saw this photo.
Here. This right here is important to me. So Disneyland news reported this. This is a new limited time buffalo chicken Mickey beignet slider. And let me tell you, I'm not a religious man, but I believed for about 5 minutes after I saw this. What a genius idea. The fact that I don't live near Disneyland, because I have Disney World, which is a different thing. They don't always hit the same items.
We have
this right here. The slider is fried chicken dipped in buffalo sauce and creamy slaw between Mickey-shaped beignets for $11.49. It is available at the Royal Street Veranda in Disneyland Park for a limited time. Disney did not announce an end date for the item. That's because they know it's a hit. They're not ready to commit to getting rid of it.
We got gold.
This right here, this is everything to me, guys. Look at it. This is the best. Sometimes they come up with stuff that sounds insane.
Yeah. And look, I don't know how practical that is. So it's a slider, right? It's a slider. So that's fist size right there. And I'll say this: I don't love beignets, and yes, I've been to Cafe Du Monde and have had a beignet there, and I enjoyed my experience. But I don't love that. It's not my favorite taste treat. But here, paired with what's going on in the middle there, I am Alden. I'm going to get 6 of these. 6 of them.
Yes, and you'll pay,
I'll pay close to $100 based on producer Steve's work there. $11.50 for one slider. Get the fuck out of here, Mickey. Yeah.
Is it just one? It doesn't say if it comes with 1 or 2. I mean, I'm assuming it's just 1.
I'm assuming just 1. Look, you're already there. I saw that story this week of Dad complaining he took the family to like a princess experience at like California Adventure or something like that, and the bill was $1,000 for breakfast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, look, at that point, dude, it's like I don't know. I sympathize because that sucks, obviously, and I don't agree with that price point. But I also think maybe this is from my 3 years working at Trader Joe's. There is a type of customer that fills their cart to the brim, then comes to the register and then is surprised at what the prices are, or will say like, no, take that out. Or they're shocked at the bill. How could it be that much? And it's like, I don't sympathize with that because the prices are on the shelves, man.
Right.
Like you look at the price when you reach your hand out and place it in your cart.
I'm so good at Trader Joe's. You know. Yeah, I know what you mean, but like I now know if I fill the cart, and I try to have some sort of organization when I put items in there, I know that's a $230 day. Like I have it down to a science because I don't want to be that person. Because I wouldn't take it out. I just eat the mistake. Like, I don't return items that I bought that I don't. Sure. It's my mistake, not yours. But that's fascinating. But anyways, going back to this, I haven't been to Disneyland since 2020.
How did you not know, man? Like you put your credit card down for this and you didn't look at the details of the package?
Oh, yeah. Well, the other thing is the headline was like, father of 5 complains that breakfast at Disneyland was $1,000 and the bill was like $938 or something. And I thought I needed to click on the story because I'm like, well, that's insane. If they just went to, La Brea Bakery in the middle of the 2 parks there, no, they paid for some like princess experience. I don't know what the hell that was. Some cast member comes out and puts a spell on them all. I don't know. The kids will have memories for life. But
for life,
the bill comes for life. But then the bill comes. Love that.
It's a lot.
It's 898 for him has had those experience things. They're expensive when I was a kid. Okay. Yeah.
I did not have many character experiences at the parks as a kid. This is a fun fact about your boy Alden. One of my childhood phobias, like dude, legit, like I would cry, was not people in costumes in general, specifically mascot style costumes, big headed costumes. Freaked me the hell out as a kid.
I will try to get my mom to take. It's gonna be a lot. Maybe my dad can scan the photo. I'll tell my mom download a scanner app for your phone but there's a picture of me about 1 or 2 in my mom's arms, just screaming screaming bloody murder because Winnie the Pooh's in front of me.
Oh, not Pooh.
So you and I, we're in the same boat, man.
Yeah, we're in the same boat. Mom, when we first moved to Florida, my mom was working at a place, and like they did like a children's event, and they needed someone to be Tweety Bird, and so my mom wore the Tweety costume because my mom's kind of short, so it's like it worked well. Yeah. And so she was Tweety, and my mom comes in as Tweety, like doing the thing, and you would have thought that I had watched her get murdered. Like that's how much I was screaming. It was so bad, and I don't know when that fear went away. Yeah, but there's just something about the unnaturally large head that just—it's
like especially a kid. You're like, you think it's real. You don't know that some 22-year-old with dreams and hopes that are slowly sliding away are in there. Hoping to get through their workday. You don't know any of that. It's
just someone in the Disney college program, or in the case of Disneyland, an aspiring actor for sure, like a real. Yeah. That person inside of there probably has like real skills.
Yeah.
Like probably has a great voice, probably knows a great monologue and is ready to do it at a moment's notice. They have a screenplay.
Yeah. I know the dude that is, Weird Al has a song about, like, I think it's called Skipper Dan. It's like a Weird Al original about the Jungle Cruise boat captain and his dreams and everything. That's actually based on someone I know. He was named Dan, and he was the Jungle Cruise captain in Orlando, and Weird Al and his family were on. And then the song comes out afterwards, and he was like a filmmaker and stuff. He actually recently moved back to Florida, but he was from my hometown. So I agree with you on that. It's a fascinating thing. Treat your mascots right.
One of my favorite comic book writers, Scott Snyder, he's written Batman, he's written Superman, he's written all the big hitters at DC, and he has talked about being one of the 7 dwarves at Disney World, and like what the audition process is like, and how you you have your under like clothes, like your gym shorts that you sweat through underneath, and like all these things, and how all the characters that have big heads hate the guy that plays Prince Charming. They hate that guy because there is a hierarchy. The treatment is very different.
This is the sitcom. I think people know, Force Center fans know Jen Landa was Princess Jasmine for years. She's got some great stories of the underbelly of Disney mascot world, character world. Yeah, excuse me.
My ex, she didn't work at Disney World, but she was like a Rent-A-Princess company that like they go to your house.
Sounds so good. Sounds so different. Sounds like a different kind of $900 experience.
It does sound like a different kind of, yeah. She got some creepy dads out there, I'll say that. But no, she played Belle. She did a bunch of that stuff. I know now a couple of the princesses at Disney World, just like people I've crossed paths with and stuff. And you got to stay on. I respect it.
What kind of, how do you approach, and this is maybe specific to Disneyland, I don't know how many times you've been there, if you've been there at all, but to World, wherever you go, how do you approach theme parks, Alden? This is very important. We've talked about very important things today. We might be starting World War III, but I need to know how you approach theme parks. Are you strategic, chaotic, favorite food spots? How do you do it?
I could say I don't lead with food. I'm a theme park person where it's like the food is like low on my priorities list. I know that seems weird considering I just nerded out about a new food item, but that's just because I think it's such a good idea. But in general, when I go, it's about figuring out like when I'm going to do the 1 or 2 things that I really want to do, rides wise. And then I'm very much about like vibes and immersion. I'm not there for like the coasters and the thrills of it all.
Gotcha.
I like the ride. That's why the Star Wars section, worked well for me when they opened it up in 2019, because both of those rides are based on immersion. Like those are rides that are showing off the technology, showing off the costumes, showing off.
Exactly.
I'm not like I don't go to Busch Gardens in Florida, which is a very popular place because it has crazy coasters.
Or it's like crazy one I'm not going.
Yeah, I'm not going to feel sick. I'm not going to be dizzy. Screw all that. So a lot of the times, it's different at Disney World, like you said, because the makeup of the park is different. Like we have the 4 parks, and like so that causes a little bit of strategy. It's longer. No one really does 4 in a day. You got to be crazy. You could maybe get away with 3 in a day, but even then you're rushing. So I will sometimes, if it's like a Magic Kingdom Hollywood day, which is the one I've done the most often, is that combo. Not no disrespect to Animal or Epcot, because there's definitely stuff to love at Animal.
None taken.
But yeah, for all of you Animal Kingdom stands in the chat, I'm definitely about seeing specific areas and like just wanting to sort of like live in it and exist. I guess I would say I'm a relaxed theme park goer.
Yeah,
I'm not like we have to be here, we have to go here, we have to go here, go this path, whatever. I'm not like that.
Okay, yeah, you and I would get along. I have lots changed since I regularly went to Disneyland, and I've only been to the Hollywood part for the 2017 press experiences at Celebration, so I don't know that side. But I have some specific spots I go to, some things I like to do, some strategies. But it's all changed, man. It's all the phone app, do everything. Like when I went in 2020, like I was lost. My friends were the ones who took us there, and they set up. Oh, here we got to get to 8 a.m. We got to be here for Galaxy's Edge. So I don't know what I'd be now. But back in the day, I was with you. I had a certain cart I wanted to get my churro and hot chocolate from. There were some lunch ideas in specific spots, but I didn't like to be beholden to them. And I usually go land by land. That's the only thing. But if you want to cut back and forth, we could do that. You and I would get along. And I like to slow down, get an ice cream sandwich cookie, which I have some skills at eating that because I have some skills. And I just like to sit down and watch the people, man. Watch the people.
I like to people watch. I'm the type of person where I'm like, oh, the parade's starting. Let's watch it. It's fun. Fireworks. Let's watch those. If there's a character doing something, if Galaxy's Edge is kind of perfect again, not just because of the fact that we love Star Wars, but because it's designed for people like us. I think where there's something to enjoy around every corner. Sometimes I do like just watching Chewbacca or Rey or Vi Moradi just like do stuff like that's free and you don't have to wait in line for it. It's just there. I'm with you. I just get a little sweet treat, hang out. Again, there are stuff I like. There's I'm a fan of the Great Movie Ride, which is no longer there. That's a Mickey Mouse thing now I haven't done. I'm a fan of they got rid of Muppets too. Muppets actually just killed last week or the week before.
Oh yeah, I went to that once.
That was a big thing. That was a big death in the family.
Yeah, it was big death in the family. See, now I want to go. I don't have anyone to go with.
Disneyland?
So, Disneyland. I have no one to go with.
Why don't you pick up Mickey Kumar?
I can't hold his hand on rides. Maybe I could.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's not that you don't have anyone to go with. It's that you don't have a nice like Disney adult honey to walk around with.
Yeah,
that's
see, like Disneyland's it's a little of a romantic place to me. I'd go with you and Nikki. Yeah, but it's a relationship thing to me. I associate it with relationships. So
interesting.
I might not go anymore the rest of my life.
Oh boy.
So,
oh boy.
I don't know what to do.
There's got to be like a Disney singles situation,
or a Rent-A-Princess,
or a Rent-A-Princess.
I'm just looking for directions to the Beverly Wilshire Regent Hotel.
Maybe during Celebration LA when the dust clears from that, we'll take a drive down.
Okay, I'll hold your hand.
Head it up.
I'll hold your hand.
We'll do that. JMB says the last time I went to Disney was with my ex too. Well, the last time I went to Disney was with my ex too. So we're all in that same boat together.
I like the hotel route. I used to go for maybe the day, but that doesn't work. But there's a couple specific hotels I like, a little walking distance, and you take your time, you enjoy your time there. So it'll be a while, Alden. It'll be a while. Yeah. All right, we're almost out of here today, and we cannot go without hearing something you teased. And no, see, I think you guys misunderstand me. Dave McKay, who is a sweetheart, you'll find someone. It's a small world after all. First of all, David, that's damn well close to wordplay. That's close to wordplay. But it's a good reference. I don't want to, and that's That's what the problem is. I'm going to have to give up theme parks because I kind of want to finish my days out like this. And so I'm going to have to consider that.
I want to finish my days out like this.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Me and my squirrels and an inflatable.
Oh, how are the squirrels, by the way?
Well? I'll tell you what. It's been, let's see if I can show this in this studio. No. Yeah, it's been. No, I can't. And I don't want to switch studios. That might mess things up. It was less of a squirrel week. The regulars haven't been here today. The two that don't talk to me, Mump and Worthington, have been here. I've not seen Squirrely and Kylo as much. So I'm a little, one day there's going to be a time where they don't show up again, and I'm going to have to face it. Little Kenny's going to have to face that. But I came home from my vacation, my little trip, and I heard a rustling outside about 10 o'clock at night. Alden, 4 skunks having a key party in my backyard.
Okay. Good for them. Good for them.
I was like, what's, because I saw one, then I saw, whoa, I was like, that's 4 skunks. And then I felt like a 6-year-old at the San Diego Zoo when you're watching turtles fuck, and you're like, why are they wrestling? Yeah. And I was watching these 4 squirrels. They were playing, but there was some positioning happening that I suddenly turned the camera away. It's like,
you know what? Good for you for being a good friend of the animals and letting them use your yard.
whatever the 4 of you are up to, I'm going to let you have this.
That's nice. It's honestly like the squirrels and the skunks are sitting around. The squirrels are like, yeah, he lets us hang out there. He takes care of us. It's awesome. Yeah. We get fed. You just go up to him. He doesn't even care. They think you're the attraction. That's what it is. They think you're the animal. They're like, if you hang out here at certain times of the day, a giant comes out.
Yeah, a giant comes out with nuts and treats and sunflower seeds. And the skunks are like, yeah, we go over there for a fuck party. It's great. But Haim released their new album, right? Today's the day? Today's the release?
Yes, the new Haim's out. We're here. It's excellent.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Just now. It's called I Quit, 15 new tracks. According to Spotify, it takes a little less than an hour to listen to the whole thing, so it's not a big ask. It is, I would describe it as like meat and potatoes Haim, but not like in a bad way. Like they're not, Haim is not in the business of like reinventing themselves sonically in totality. You know what they're going to sound like, but there's some great percussion on this, some fun production choices. The songwriting, I think, is really strong. It has one of their best written songs, which is called Blood on the Street, which is the second to last track on the album, which is just excellent. Great stuff. To dive into this. And, really, really fun, really good.
Yeah, we love this band, and I agree. And they're at this point now, over 12, 13 years in, right? 2011 or 12 was their first major release. I was reading or watching an interview where I think Danielle did a lot of the producing on this, and they're at that point where it's like, we got this. And I love that point when bands get there. They've been at the top of the pops for a while, but I absolutely can't wait to dive into this album. And it just reminds you, in this world where everything could go in a second, Alden, hold on to these little things. Hold on to the artist you love. A lot of people talk about New Lord. I haven't had a chance to. I don't go down the Lord rabbit hole as much as others.
I haven't done the Lord deep dive yet. Yeah, not for any bad reason. It's just my Lord opinions are. I also enjoyed Royals, just like the rest of the world did.
Yeah, absolutely. Same.
She did a cover of Life on Mars shortly after Bowie passed at the Brits, maybe. Like Gary Oldman introduced her, and it was like a Bowie tribute, and it was really good. And I wish they would have recorded it and released it because it was excellent.
They didn't.
But yeah, she's always been cool, just kind of off to the side. That's how I feel about Charlie XCX too, where it's like, club dance, like electronic, like that's not really my bag. I dip my toe. So it's like the Brat summer, the Brat year that we just had. Right. I was very like casually into it. Like I was like, that's cool. I had though my last dinner party. I had, some other things that were happening that are a little bit more rockish, to use some vague term. But
I'm always gonna want bass guitar, drums, and build from there. Not that is not in a lot of different styles of music, but you know what I mean. I'm a rock guy, but not a hard rock guy. All right, don't turn up the volume to 11, Matty Gunner. But yes, that's one of the things we want to end on was little joys out there in the world. That includes beignet chicken barbecue sandwiches from Disneyland
Hell
and
yeah.
Heim music.
Hell yeah.
For us.
Yes, Osvetnik, Chapel Roan does cover Barracuda on her current set, and I need her to record and release it because it's an excellent cover. And we're getting closer to her new album as well. So far, it's been a great year. I mean, Gaga's Mayhem now Haim. Like we'll have Chapel probably in the last quarter of the year. It seems like Sabrina Carpenter gonna release another album, which like nowadays annual albums is like kind of a rarity for a lot of these people. How long the tours are and
and I miss that. I miss the days of almost a new album every year or two from bands or three if you were the Beatles in your times and their times. Sorry, we're talking about music, and I just see Laser Bolts comment. My corpse will be discovered on a Sunday when my friends wonder why I didn't show up for cards. I feel you, Laser Bolt. I think I've said this. I'm close to designated 2 or 3 friends to have the code to my house to get in. That if you don't hear from me in 3 days, come on over. The squirrels have eaten me.
You also need to. We're going to have a conversation at some point. Maybe we'll do. Maybe that'll be a bit on air. Planning for the end with Anytime with Ken and Alden. We just handle our estates. I want designated time to speak at the knapsack service. I need to make sure.
Okay, sure, yeah. I'm like Tormund Giantsbane, man. The dead can't hear you, so burn me, and put me in a little Tupperware and have at it. Have a party. I just want to party. Play all the music I love. Please auction off my toys. If I haven't sold them already, I'm trying to sell all my things I have slowly. It's hard to find people. I've heard the economy's a little down. People aren't buying things. Just give them away, Alden. Just welcome. You get a 9 num. Do you want to plush a Grogu, Molly? You get it.
But it's like I love the idea of it happening at the service. So it's like people are walking in and we're giving a little program. And we're like, and how did you know, Mr. Knapsack? Can I interest you in a 6-inch Zori Bliss? Your seat is better over here.
Hi. So sorry. You get the Infus Nest with the swoop bike. It's over there for you. Yeah.
If you are instead interested in the 3 3/4, please visit Mr. Scrimshaw over by the holy water.
He's claimed over there. Yeah. Yes. This is what I want. There you go. Count this. This is official.
Last things, I just wanted to get through some of these super chats before we go because I know that.
Okay, people, do it. You're a good host. Do it.
You had producer Steve said, "Sure, Vlad, here's a virtual hug. Paying for a hug isn't breaking some decency laws. As far as I know, this is the internet, baby. That's fine. That's fine. Any fans? I asked. We'll get to Charlie in a second. I'm gonna save that one because that's cute. Addie here with $5. Thank you so much, Addie. Says thank you for entertainment. Like some work done on this day off. Well, then I guess it's not much of a day off, is it, Addie?
No.
Addie, crack open a beer or a Chardonnay or whatever your fancy is. Kick back, watch a film. Ken Plume, we talked about Ken Plume's thoughts on America, but we also have Ken Plume has thoughts on theme parks. I don't know if we'll do a theme park special because we don't go, but
I don't go.
At some point, I would like to know more and do more. Maybe if Ken Plume and I ever finally cross paths in Fortnite, because I've been playing Fortnite a lot and have not crossed paths with either of you.
Okay, hold on.
You were okay. I got on last night and it said Knapsack was on 19 minutes ago. That's how close we were to crossing paths.
Okay, but you were playing. Okay, we got to talk about this. Okay, there is a prevailing theory that you're ducking a lot of people. I'm just going to say it. Okay, there's a prevailing that you're ducking people online for Fortnite. Now, sometimes you're in a match and that's all you're going to do. But I played with Scotty and Jerry the other night. Their friend Rip Glorton wasn't there, but we played.
Okay, but hold on. But did you invite me? Did you invite me that night?
No, but you
how
Scotty and Jerry, because you're on there, but you're not responding to Fred. I've invited you and Scotty one time, and you guys didn't respond. This is true.
I accepted your. Well, I didn't see that. I accepted your
not friend request. I'm talking about game request.
I didn't get that.
I don't want to play with Plume and Romo all night. I play with them 19 times a day. I wanted to play with you and Scotty, and you guys didn't. You rejected me.
Well, maybe Scotty rejected you. I don't know, but I am set to invite only. But that's not because I'm ducking anybody. That's because there are people. Let me see if I could say this without throwing names out there. There are people in the Star Wars space. Nobody who's watching. Nobody who's watching. Nobody in our friend group. I'm not talking about Romo. I'm not talking about anybody who we love and adore. There are people. Let's just say that we used to do some charity events with, if you catch my drift, that will just throw in sometimes the whole, like, they just join your party apropos of nothing, without a text, without anything.
Yeah. Don't like that.
So,
I don't like
that. I had to set to invite only to avoid real moments of conflict. So I did that. But we were on one night at the same time. And I was like, let's play. And you said, oh, well, you're using Discord or whatever. So we use Discord.
Well, yeah, that's okay.
Some of our mics are echoey and it's annoying.
You got to fix that.
I Discord on my phone.
Okay.
And I put it next to me. And the audio is fine. And we play.
Okay.
How about this? Tonight.
No, I can't. I got friends coming over tonight. I got friends coming over tonight. Play Star Wars Battlefront 2015. I'm not doing Fortnite tonight. I might be at the Hollywood Improv. All right, here's the thing.
You also got social, which I said last week. You got social again.
Yes. But you all play like seven of you in our Discord chat room, and you're all playing separate games. We can't do that. It's got to be a max of 4 in one squad. You got to start cutting people. Yeah, like, you got to cut people from your team. You got to cut them from your team.
A trios and a duos, or a squad and a trio. So like that does happen with us.
That's chaos. That's chaos.
I will create a separate Discord thing that's just me and you and 2 other people if you're choosing.
Why are you going to Discord? The game has a chat.
Because I'm fine doing that, but people bitch at me and say, oh, your microphone is echoing. It's echoing. And so that's why we ended up doing the Discord call. So I just get fucking nagged the entire time.
Well, then we'll fix your settings. All right. We're gonna take this off air.
We'll do it in game. We're
gonna take this off air. Okay. Okay.
Well, I will have.
And then you, Scotty, and Jerry all have the little locked things because you explain why. But it's like I don't know what's going on.
No, dude, it was a thing. It was a thing. I wasn't there for it, but they were all playing, and I was gonna come later, and they were like, "Holy shit, Redacted just joined our party," and I was like, "What?" And they were like,
I agree with that. I agree with that.
It was like
it's poor form.
I'm not ducking you at all. I accepted your friend request. Plume, I don't know if you sent me one or if I was supposed to send it to you, but either way, let me know who was supposed to do what.
All right.
I'm not ducking you. Steve, I didn't get a friend request from Steve either.
I think you're ducking Steve. I think you're afraid of Steve.
I did not get a friend request from Steve. It's the same user.
This was the most real part of the show today.
Same user. Add that Alden Diaz. That's my Epic thing. My PlayStation thing is that 80s better. Yeah. Nobody has sent me these.
I've also heard your gaming style. I was surprised to hear your gaming style in Fortnite. I'm intrigued.
What was described to you about the way that
you're an angry strategist?
That tracks, actually. That tracks. I don't avoid fight, but I also I have to run point. Like last night, I shout orders like I'm in the military.
I love this.
But I was literally like, all right, everybody hold your ground. There's 7 people left. That means we have the numbers advantage. I want a line right here. I'm like I literally am like,
you're in the brute squad.
I'm like, do not get rattled, everybody. If people start yelling over each other on the call, like last night I had to do it like twice. Like Jerry was a little wasted.
Yeah, I saw the end of the Bombad anniversary show. I was concerned about him.
He was a little wasted.
Four Loco is a hideous bitch god. He doesn't need that. He's too old for that.
There was some yelling, and I was like, stop yelling. Shut up.
It's amazing.
You're rattling each other.
I'm telling you, you learn a lot about each other.
I've heard the way that you more Plume. I've heard the way Plume plays. Plume avoids combat until he absolutely has to kill somebody. Which I think is admirable, and that means that Plume is welcome in the zombie apocalypse group.
Yeah, see that's what I was surprised about. I think you and Plume. I was afraid you guys wouldn't get along game style wise. I didn't know your style, so it's not fair of me. I adapt to Plume style really good, and we win a lot. We win a lot of our matches. But I have the bloodthirst. I love to occasionally just hit something, and I need to go fight. So I'm a little Leroy Jenkins at times.
Fighting, but I need everybody to be on the same page. I don't like the solo runner. We have, our Jared, our friend Michael McCoy, who's our game master and our Star Wars RPG. There are a few of our friends that are like, there's gunfire over there, bye. And it's like, why are you doing it? Like, we'll go with you. Just say you're going.
Okay, I'll accept that. I like to go towards.
We are stronger if we move as a unit, dude.
Yeah, I got
strong.
first responder blood in me. Right, like there's a problem over there. Let's run over that hill like Tom Cruise's kid in War of the Worlds. Let's go see what's going on.
Oh yeah, awesome. Oh man, And I tell you, I got my first solo crown this week. I pulled a Ken Knapsack. I took a picture of the screen. We got a squad crown last night. We've been getting some. I wouldn't say I'm good, but I definitely think I've made a lot of progress in 3 weeks' time.
I sense it. No, I got a good. Look, I want to be clear. I got a good report from Scotty and Jerry. Yeah, so there's. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do.
Look at all those.
How do you
Look at all
yeah.
those
So, this is all the photos. All the photos of victory. 738 crown photos right there. Do I have?
I also
problem?
like.
Yes.
I think I adapt to the way the guys play too, but I do give notes, which thankfully my friends
at the end of the match. All right, everyone gather around, take a knee.
Oh,
I got notes.
End, like,
Jared the Dark Jedi. You used the wrong gun there.
He'd be running too much. But like with Scotty likes to drive, and then the second he sees people, he hits the fucking thrust and just like blasts off and wants to run them over. And I'm like, I was like, Scotty, I need you to line up shots for us if we're all going to be like, I need you to drive in the way that I can pop out of the window and shoot, and then run them over. And it's like we've been making these adjustments.
I like to run over. If I never have to get out of the car, that's a great elimination. I run over like a lot of fun. All right, we're gonna take this off air. This has been fun. Yep. What's that?
We still got a couple things. Just from these people that paid. Addie paid $2 to disrespect Animal Kingdom. I wanted to make sure we touched on that.
Oh, okay.
This right here, I starred from Charlie because I asked him to tell us about the first kiss. He said, I was extremely anxious and nervous. Had this massive art book and had people cheering, shouting, kiss. Girlfriend covered us with the art books. It was just us, cut out the noise, and boom, really sweet. Well, that's very nice. I'm glad.
Wow.
I'm glad.
That's a scene from a movie right there. That's E.T. too. I love Charlie.
All these British kids just yelling, kiss, kiss. Kingsport Cal said, best fictional band.
Barry Jive and the Uptown Five. I agree with that. I agree. I got the High Fidelity soundtrack on compact disc in my living room right now. There you go. Addie says, thanks for the entertainment. Get some work done this day off. We got that. Okay. Yeah, we got them all. Okay, cool. Good call. You're a good host today. I got to go think about Fortnite some more.
Wait, you didn't say a fictional band.
Oh, I don't remember any of these things. Stillwater, Spinal Tap.
Stillwater, that's a good answer.
But then Spinal Tap became a real band. Like,
yeah,
I don't have that recall anymore.
I am gonna go with the titular School of Rock, Dewey Finn's band with all the kids from School of Rock that they performed at the WROK 2003 Battle of the Bands and came in second place to fictional band No Vacancy in what we all agreed was robbery. But then they did the encore of AC/DC's Long Way to the Top, and it was a great movie moment. So
I've never seen this.
There's my. You've never seen School of Rock, Ken?
No, I think I have. I think the School of Rock is around the corner. The actual School of Rock is around the corner.
You would.
And then we landed on the Ruddles. Yeah, the Ruddles. 898 for him is teasing me. Spinal Tap was fictional first. We'll worry about that later. All right.
Ben Plume is here stirring drama again, saying I am Fortnite ducking. Plume, if I go to my account right now, there's not a friend request from you, so help me God. I will take a picture of the request tab because I'm being slandered by people that have not requested me, by you Gen Xers that have not requested me, except for my boy Cospan here, who did.
Yeah. Yeah, I got there. All right. I can't play tonight, but we'll play soon, and we'll see if it syncs up our styles of play. It will. All right, everybody, like the video. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate you all. We really do. We had a bad week, but it doesn't mean you have to. Enjoy life. Find joys. Read the news. Yell at your relatives. All right, bye.